Hi, I'm Bea and I'm part of the team here at Tudor House. And today I've got with me one of the most recognisable bits of Tudor and Stuart clothing. It is a ruff. And this is something that you see lots and lots of people from that period wearing in images from that time. And it's just, to us today, I think, looks like such an odd bit of clothing. I can't really imagine what reason there would be for wearing something like this, but it was really, really widespread. And really it grew out of people just made the collars of their shirts, got bigger and bigger and to look more and more fancy. And then around the middle of the Tudor period, they started to wear things that looked a bit more like ruffs. But they were still quite small, quite modest like this one, until eventually they invented starching, and that's when things really took off and they got much, much bigger. They even started to have the name of Millstone ruffs because they looked so big. They looked like millstones that were used to grind flour. And they didn't really have a particularly practical function. In fact, it made your outfit less practical. And that might really have been part of it because it showed that you certainly weren't going to be doing any manual labour wearing a ruff or really doing much work at all because it would have been so hard to do that with such a huge thing around your neck. But my favourite thing about the ruff is that it was actually often a separate piece of clothing to the rest of the things you were wearing. And the thing is, especially if you were wearing a starched ruff, if you went out and you went to a gathering, on the way there, if it rained, your ruff would end up very, very floppy. So people actually had them carried in cases and then they put them on when they got to wherever they were going to make sure that they look their best.